Yo, what's up, y'all? So, we back at it at episode 3. Welcome back to Soma Voices, Real Talk on Mental Health. Today's episode is called Raised by the Block. And as y'all know, my name is Mavy-E. And yeah, y'all want to introduce yourself?
I'm Zay.
I'm Bliss.
City.
Yeah, so for this one, we definitely wanted to bring in a guest for this episode just to have, more perspectives on just different generations and even just different ways that the block raised us. So, yeah, City, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself and then we can get going for sure.
Um, Real Soma baby. Uh, Sixth Street to be exact. Most definitely was raised by the block. Uh, just an outside baby overall. Just been outside, seen everything, transformations. Some here to tell us, some not. RP to the ones that's not. And some the game took over. But I'm glad to tell my little story.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, just to really put it at perspective, it's really like different generations and keep it real. That's really like big bro in the block. Like I grew up with that. And yeah, so pretty much the topic that we're gonna talk about is like how Soma shaped us and the lessons we learned and also the struggles we faced. You know what I mean? And just trying to really like as the title says or like as our podcast says, just real talk on mental health, like how all of these things shaped us to be the person we are. You know what I mean? So if anybody want to share like any defining moments from your childhood in your teenage years, especially growing up in these streets, in Soma.
Yeah, so I could start off for the podcast. Again, I'm Bliss. I grew up here, right off in the Soma. But yeah, defining moments for me growing up in the Soma was really just growing up with my people and realizing like everybody that I grew up with on Soma, whether we all got along or not, we was part of all the same community, and it all kind of like we grew up as like a village. Um, Big thing that really like shaped my childhood was like having a group of friends that really supported everything we was doing, everything that we had dreams to do. Like my dream is to see my friends dream. You feel me? And seeing that in you, bro. You know what I mean? It's like we always had that dream, so it's like now we kind of hopping onto that, and then it's like raised by the block. We all raised each other. You feel me?
Facts.
I feel like y'all can add on to that too.
Yeah. For me, it was like, what is it called? It was just seeing what everyone else was kind of like trying to get into as a kid. I know everyone was athletes, and I was like, I was more of a baseball person. I'm not gonna lie, and that's when I got with Tim.
Tim, yep.
Yeah, that's when I got with Tim. But like, all these fools were basketball players, and that I felt like that helped me just kind of just stay at rec
Mm-hmm.
um, as a kid and just kind of just not be out as much. If that makes sense.
No, I feel you. I felt like when we were all kids too, like we didn't feel no struggles when we were all playing basketball together. We were all playing sports together. We was all just kicking it at the rec, whatever. You know what I mean? And then like I felt like a big experience that shaped a lot of kids, and it's helping shape a lot of kids like to this day. You know, is like music. It shaped Mav's life. It shaped my life. It shaped all of our homies' lives. And like I feel like a defining moment for me is like I don't even know if City remember this, but like back in the days we used to be at that rec studio.
I was
Lil
gonna say, I was gonna
with
bring that up too.
Mav.
Yeah.
That was a big part that shaped defining like how we are as artists now, because we got to see at least a little groundwork of what we wanted to be. You know what I mean? And it was a little outlet to not be doing what everybody else was doing, falling into your environment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
Like
what it is.
that was
Yeah.
a huge defining moment for me. I don't know if y'all felt that same way too.
It's definitely. With me, it was call it the beautiful struggle. Like
Facts.
you had the rec center before the rec center. It used to be Crossroads on 6th Street. It was like the rec center where everybody used to go chill. And yeah, we all grew up as kids. You didn't even understand the word struggle. You just thought it was normal. So, being at the rec all day, playing basketball, no kid, and you go home, then mom can barely pay the rent. You cramped up in a little 1 bedroom household. But you didn't really feel that as a child till you start becoming a little older and you start realizing like, damn, we really had it hard when we was younger. But there was the rec center, crossroads, all of that kept us like sane for the meantime, between time. So I call it the beautiful struggle all around until the politics got involved and the street life got involved. But most of all, I was a good kid. I was a
Yeah.
very good kid. I was always good hearted. Always was about keeping everybody together. Back then it wasn't Soma. We just call it 6th Street. And we didn't get no respect. This neighborhood got no respect for other neighborhoods. So when I used to go to school, middle school in Petro Hill. They're like, man, what is 6th Street? And that's where all the homeless hang at? That's where all the dope fiends hang at?
Man,
But not
yeah.
knowing, like, you go down these alleyways, it's families. You got
Facts.
a Filipino community. Like, I was about 3 out of 4 Latinos families that grew up down here.
Wow.
So when you used to go to school, I used to always take that shit personal. So I was like, man, I'll put this shit on the map. Fuck that.
Man,
They're
yeah.
gonna respect it. So that kind of mindset switched from like, man, being a good kid at the rec center was like, well, shit, somebody gonna respect it.
Facts,
Wow.
yeah.
Not for real, because especially when you go to high school and stuff, people ask you where you're from. You say 6th Street, no one knows where it's at.
Nobody.
They be like,
That's-
that's
yeah.
by TL's. Like, nah, it's
6th Street, yeah, we're
under
our own
market,
spot.
bro.
Yeah. Now that's really what it is, and like that's really what my childhood was about. Like, especially besides like kicking it with like people at school and everything, it was really the rec, and a big thing that helped me out throughout my childhood was like definitely like UP, like the after school programs. And I know back then, like right now, it's UP and West Bay that was together. But before it was so separate. So it was different. Like definitely, if you kicked it with UP, it was UP, and then West Bay with West Bay, right? But I was one of those kids that like to jump around different programs because my friends was everywhere. And then just like to add on what you said, how sports really got us. Like sports really did, because at the time we probably was hating each other or whatever, but sports is what got us to like, all right, forget all the bullshit aside, we're gonna put everything on this. And it's really amazing. Like I like hearing your story too, because like we low key grew up with that too, especially moving out of high school, like the teenage years. That's when it really got crazy, because they're like, you from Bessie? What's Bessie? Or like you from Soma? What's Soma? Or what? Yeah, like what's 6th Street? And the fact that it's always been like that is kind of crazy to me, because I thought it was just something new. Because you was like the big homie, and I was like, I looked up to you. I looked up to all of y'all, because y'all showed us love as the younger generation. It was tough love sometimes, but it was like, it was like that real shit. Like, you from this neighborhood too. So the fact that you guys had to go through that too is kind of crazy, because I always thought like, man, 6th Street, the crazy thing is, if you were from here, you're from here, or like the people here, and you know what it is. You don't have to explain to another person what it is. But outside, it's like, we feel so secluded just being in Soma. Like shit is crazy.
Yeah, I used to think I was Filipino growing up.
Hey, Philip.
Honorary, come on.
I mean, like I said, like it was about 2-3 families that I was down here that was like really Latins, but all my best friends was like Filipino. I remember I used to be on the Toma, join our house, and we didn't have nothing to eat. He go cook some spam and rice with some banana ketchup. We used to eat that shit every fucking day. So it's like, to this day, like my closest friends are like Filipinos, and so I took pride in Soma, the neighborhood I grew up. Because before this, I used to stay in Petro Hill Projects. Our house got burnt down.
Oh damn.
Because my mama boyfriend was doing some illegal shit, whoop this and that. So we ended up being homeless, slept in a car for like a year. Then we migrated down here, and we stayed on Minna damn near all our life. We was on 511A Minna. Then we moved to where my mama at right now, 535 Minna.
Yeah.
So, and before 535 Minna used to be a parking lot. A little quick story. There used to be a fat dude in there, like big old 300-pound dude. He used to live with his dogs, right? He used to live with his dogs. So every day he'll just open the door and them dogs be running down Meaner Street. So every time when we go home as a kid, we peek down the alleyway, see if the dogs ain't over there, because them dogs is chasing all down the fucking street. And there used to be one little white one that was the meanest one.
Bro, it's always the small dogs too.
He was the ringleader of that motherfucker. But that was like, the rec center, just to go back, man, the rec center was like a staple, like the holy ground of like 6th Street and Soma. I'd had my first fight over there. I got my first kiss over there. I got shot at the rec center, you feel me? So it's like that, right? Like R.I.P. Tim. I remember Tim kicked me out the rec center.
Really?
And he used to tell me, like, man, you ain't never gonna do nothing with your life, this and that. And I used to be like, man, I'm gonna die in this shit. And just him, like later on, him bringing up that story, how he kicked me out, it was like, man, that's dope. That, like, full circle, like I'm doing the opposite, man, and just, helping with these kids now, man. So
wow.
The rec center most definitely played a big part of like bringing the community together. Before it was UP's West Bay, we were just all the kids over there either you was hooping outside, or you had you got the older homies on Harriet right there drinking, doing their thing. Not gonna say it on camera, but it was just a community, man. It was dope, man. As a kid seeing that shit, that's why I was like, man, it's a beautiful struggle, and I won't change it for the world.
That's facts, yeah.
Wow.
Now, I like how you said that 6th Street is like the holy ground for everybody, because that was like peace, when we was kids. If we didn't know where to go, we just go to the rec and spend like 12 hours over there just chilling,
That was a real job, 9 to 9, bro.
That's how I like got close with everybody. Realized that Tim had my back, had my mom's back in the day too. So I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Those were the people that like we realized that as adults now, we realize that they had the biggest impact on this. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have been doing music without seeing City in the fucking booth when I was younger, bro. Because I was like, damn, that shit was sick, bro. Like, and it was a tiny little studio in the back of the rec, bro. And that was like, that felt like nostalgic just thinking about it, bro. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But like, what's one person for you that probably that you felt like stuck out to you when you was a kid from the community?
Honestly, Tim, like he was like the father figure of rec.
Yeah.
He was like the heart of rec. I'm getting all choked up right now because Tim was like,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. Like, hey, Tim was the only coach that cussed me out, bro. I swear to you, because I was that loud kid. I wouldn't say bad kid, but I was that loud kid. But especially when I wanted to hoop, like basketball meant a lot to me. So when he sat me out, I'm over here. I'm like, okay, I do need a breather, right? Take a little breather.
yeah,
And then I'm like, I'm agitated. I'm like, hey, bro, put me back in.
yeah.
First couple times it was cool, right? He's just like, sit down. And I let it go a little bit. So I stood up one time like, hey, bro, put me in, bro. This is taking too long. He says, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck over there. And I was like, hey, keep it a buck, though. You have to do that to me for me to get your respect. Because after that, I was like, yeah, he got that.
Yeah.
You got that, big homie. I'm going to just relax whenever you want me in, bro.
I think it was cool though because we could be ourselves around
Facts,
him.
yeah.
Nah, for sure.
We didn't have to hide anything from him, which was cool.
That's really what it is, yeah.
And the fact that he would cuss us out, or it was cool though, bro. Like I feel like we needed that as kids.
We needed some type of structure,
Yeah,
and he gave
and
that.
he was so into baseball too, and so I would ask him everything about baseball.
Yeah.
But he was an A's fan, so I don't know.
Tim got me into collecting cards.
Oh,
yeah.
dude,
He got
that
me
was
into
crazy.
collecting
Yeah.
cards, man. I don't know, y'all probably too young, but right there on 6th Street towards Bryan, there used to be a shop right there where they sell like
By McDonald's.
Pokemon cards.
By
all that
McDonald's,
shit.
yeah.
So I remember I used to hustle. I don't know, back in the day, used to be a game called Pogs. You had a slammer, right? And then you stack the Pogs up, and then you hit it, and whoever flips more will get them. So me and my little friends had hustle where we like go in their backpack, steal a Pog, sell them right back to them, beat them. So we'll make our little money, and then we'll go there, man. And I used to just be trying to stack up on the cards, man. He got me into collecting cards. I wish I would have kept them to this day. I had some nice ones.
Hey, those cards probably would have been a lot. Because them
Man, I
cards
had
be
some good
costing,
ones. I
yeah.
had some good ones.
We're running out of money now too.
Another person for me was Quit E.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I was going to bring him up too, yeah.
He was a mentor of mine growing up, because and at least at FEC, he he really showed us some love over there.
No.
He was one of those people where you didn't have to hide anything either.
He knows he knows it too. He can see in your eyes the way you moving.
He knows how you are, bro. So
Yeah.
he'll act. He wouldn't act, but like he'd be who he is, and like he wouldn't hide anything.
Yeah.
He would say what's on his mind about you or whatever.
He'll know when you have a bad day too. He'll just be
Yeah, like he just reads
"What's
you,
going on?"
bro.
Yeah.
He just reads you.
I was like a safe space to be with him, bro. Like,
Yeah.
rest in peace to Unc, bro. Cause so personally with me and him, bro, like, I call him Unc because he was friends with my mom growing up, bro. Feel me? Like that was like my mom's best friend on 6. So like personally, like once he realized that he was my mom's friend, bro, and then whose kid I was, bro, like I always had respect for him because he watched out for all of us. Watched out,
Instant love,
you
yeah.
know, instantly knew like, okay, this kid gotta like be under my wing now. And until the day he passed, bro, he always showed me that love. So
Yeah.
like that's always gonna stick with me. That's one person. You're right though. That really like hit me in my heart, bro. I feel you.
Yeah.
E was most definitely, but before me and E became cool, me and him used to always bump heads. He actually 87 me out of West Bay.
For real?
Really?
So back then,
I remember
West
you told
Bay,
me you was at West Bay
the
too.
old
Yeah.
West Bay used to have a computer lab, and we used to always play this game Counter-Strike. So we used to cut school, all of us be up in there, and we used to bully the kids, right? Kids, nobody can get on, we get on. So we'd be on that game
Push
all the
up on
fucking
him.
time, and I remember he kicked me out though. But later on we talked about it. Me understanding me now, yeah, I would have kicked myself out a long time ago.
Really?
But solid dude. I remember when Benno Stiff was on the Toma in the alleyway, he used to always be outside smoking a cigarette. I used to be selling dope. He used to, the respect was mutual, so he would see me do it, holler at me, man. So, man, RP. And he got me into Nipsey Hussle, man. He gave me Nipsey Hussle first mixtape, Bullets Ain't Got No Name, Volume 3. He was like, man, listen to this, man. It remind me a lot of you guys. And I remember he burnt it on the CD, wrote it down. And he got me into Kendrick Lamar, too. Section 80. He gave me them 2 mixtapes. And after that, I became a fan of Kendrick. And I didn't know who they was. And Nipsey, like, man, listen to these guys. And
He was a music fanatic too.
He was definitely a music fanatic for sure.
I remember he loved Adele. Like Adele when he put that too, yeah.
And he was a bass player too.
Yeah. My thing with E was it's another story with him, and even Rec in basketball. It was like this was one I wasn't really into basketball, but UP always had us in the basketball team, so I was in the basketball team. And I kid you not, bro, like my first ever basketball points was a free throw. And then at the time, not knowing the game, it's 2 free throws, right? So I'm over here jumping with the free throw too. Boom, backboard, and I made it. I'm yelling, bro. I'm like, yeah! And I run out to get water. And the very first person I see, because I wanted to, like, I was so excited, it was him. I told him, I was like, hey, Unc, I made my first basket. Mind you, the ref is following me. He's like, bro, we got a game going still. And I was just like, wait, hold on, let me drink water. Came right back, I airballed the next shot, but that's how excited I was. And then just I remember that, like, man, Uncle E was he was definitely like one of my mentors growing up too, especially because he was what we're kind of doing right now to the middle schoolers. You know what I mean? Where how we the ones watching over the kids, kind of trying to give them game of life. Like he was that person to me when I was in middle school. So it's crazy just going with that. Yeah.
Nah, for sure. And then one thing we could piggyback on top of that was like, how was those influence shaped how you are today as an adult?
Man, so how growing up influenced who I am today, or growing up here, man. Like first off, it like to really bring it back to what City said, like to really, and I know y'all know what I'm about, especially with my music, especially who like the person I try to portray myself to be is like I really want to put someone in the map, like even having that song about 415, like when you talk about San Francisco, you never talk about like 6th Street, Soma. You always talk about the Mission Street or Fillmore, all of that, and they're all beautiful neighborhoods. You know what I mean? But hey, like I'm really trying to yell it out here. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Like Soma is here. We got our own spot. So influence me to really like be about myself, learn about the history, do what I can for the present. And another big person that I wanted to bring up here is Uncle Rudy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and he's very humble about it. He doesn't like to brag. He kind of just, and you guys know him, like his character is just there. Like once he gets in the room, he's just like, hey man, like very humble, but very like when he says stuff, you listen. Those are the type of people
Yeah.
you need to listen to.
Yeah,
Like you know what I mean.
yeah.
But he influences it today, or like he's definitely one of my like motivators. I say you too, City. I know you got like a lot of like businesses and um, for me, like keep it real. Like you see the change, you see all of that. I want to be like that too, but it's the fact that you came from the same neighborhood as like we did, and the fact that you showing like you show up every day for the kids, you show up every day just to do what you can. But like that's one of the things I'm trying to do too, and just influence it like to everybody, even with the podcast, music. It really just growing up here just shows like the tenacity of it. You know what I mean? Like it just proves that we got so much hidden talent, we got hidden like potential that like I just want to be one of the like people to be like, hey, we here, but I'm just opening up to way bigger things that like all of us have. You know, the youth, the people now, the OGs. You know, so that's one of the things that like keeps me pushing to what I'm doing today. 'Cause really, bro, I was really raised in the block, like for real, like Crossroads, all of that, bro. So, yeah,
What about you, City? Because I know you grew up here, but at a different time than us.
Yeah.
How much different was that for you than it is out today?
So we didn't have UP, we didn't have like West Bay. We had the rec center, and with the rec center, you got away with everything. smoking weed in the bag, drinking, all that shit.
Yeah.
So what defined me and made me the person I am today, it made me an entrepreneur. I remember I found two dime sacks of crack, right? I was about 16 years old, right? Found them at 2, and I'm like, damn, we gonna sell it. So we was outside on a corner for like a month trying to sell 2 dime sacks. it burst open, it had lint in there, and not no dophine, nobody want to mess with us because they see us from the kids walking up and down the street. And I remember the dophine came up to me and was like, all right, 2 for 15. And at first, I was like, damn, this guy trying to hustle me. I thought it's $10 each. And not knowing later on, 2 for 15 was a thing. They buy 2, you give them $15. That was a deal. And I was like, fuck it. So he looked at it, he was like, what the fuck is this? It had lint in it, everything. And I remember taking that same $15 and buying a large pizza at Chico's Pizza. Another, staple spot in the Soma, Chico's Pizza. And just sharing that with everybody. I felt like I was a kingpin. I felt like and we was all eating, peace and everything. And it kind of like a light bulb in my head switched like, damn. So it led me to the other path, selling dope, all that bullshit. But something that really defined was meeting Rudy. And I think I'm a very, very, very lucky person for meeting Rudy. And for him being my neighbor, I remember, he used to always talk about UP, this and that. But it wasn't in our neighborhood, so it's always go one end out the other. So it was this one time, it was some Latin dudes on 6th Street. We got on them, once again, trying to prove, 6th Street, Soma, trying to put on the map. So we end up getting on them, boo, 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 we fight, and we all ran to the building where I'm at now, right now, 535 Minna. And then the police chasing us. I had some dope in my pocket. I threw it by the play structure. So the police seeing it, this and that. I remember Rudy standing over the balcony because you could see it outside. I don't know if you 535 Mina.
Yeah.
And then he was just standing there, another neighbor, this and that. And I remember him coming to jail like, man, I want to be your case manager. I'm like, what do that even mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm just gonna help you, navigate you through your court process, this and that. So that's how me and Rudy became very, very close, like another father figure. He'll take me to court. That's when he had his blue van. And I used to tell him, please don't tell my mom, right? My mom to this day don't know I went to jail for selling dope. She thought I went to jail for fighting because I always used to fight. And he used to always tell me, as long as she don't ask me, I'm not gonna lie to her. So him telling that was like, damn, that's some real shit. Like, he's not gonna lie for me, but if she asks, I gotta tell the truth.
Damn, yeah.
So, fast forward, he was my case manager before, he my boss now. But like I said, I'm very, very lucky I got to meet Rudy because a lot of my friends didn't have that opportunity. A lot of them dead right now. A lot of them is strung out on dope, dope fiends on the same block they grew up on. And, I was very, very fortunate to meet Rudy, man, and just have a job and do what I do now. So, the
Facts, yeah.
foundation of everything is out of love.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's what I
really what
got
it is.
from
Yeah.
I felt that. I felt like also with that too, that same feeling that Uncle Rudy was able to give you, like you doing that with the kids nowadays too. They get to feel safe just talking to somebody who like they're big bro. You feel me? And then like to add on to that, that's how I felt with like one person I really do got to shout out was Uncle Rico, man.
for sure.
Rico.
Uncle Rico was keeping me and CJ when we was doing little badass kids, like guns running up, minutes, just pop, pop, pop. Like we used to be on some stupid dumb shit, bro. And I gotta give him the respect because he was the one that put us in check, man. Like y'all being hella dumb, you got to get yourself, man, shot on the block for some stupid shit. Like with him, bro, he was my guidance growing up too. Him was like the reason why me and CJ really stayed at Rec, because he was like, nah, y'all go play basketball, bro. Like y'all don't need to be on the street doing no dumb shit. So like I had to give Uncle Rico a shout out. I hella almost forgot to.
I remember when I first seen him, he was hella buff, bro.
Yoked
I
out,
was like,
bro. Just
yo,
like,
who is this
what's up,
guy,
man?
bro? I was like, get the.
Hey, but
yeah.
also with Uncle Rico, you can't forget Uncle German. That was a go-to right there. That was like wherever at the time, right? At the time, wherever Uncle Rico was, Uncle German was there too. So, like I had the blessing of growing up with both of them too. We took care of Uncle German's little daughter, Leah. So she's like family to us. So I was able to have like a lot of one-on-one conversations with Uncle German, and then just kind of like what I feel like the generation needs, just that like you said, the mentor or case manager, like it's so like not a lot of people think they need that. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like, oh, I'm on my phone, or like speak to a therapist. That person, like, you know what I mean, that mentor, that case management, that was like the real therapy. You know what I mean? Like one-on-one conversations to a quote unquote bad kid in the school. So like yeah, like sports definitely took me out of, like the streets, or like not even wanting to be a part of it. The mentors. Yeah, I'm blessed to have UP in my life, because you get to hear people out, Uncle Rico and all of them, and their stories, that one incident that changed their life. Because they spend their time over there and coming back to us to be like, hey, that's not the life. Because it's crazy. Yeah.
And what's crazy though, Rico is really like Rico and German are really for the neighborhood.
Picture, yeah. I remember hearing that.
And
Yeah.
there was one of the first Filipinos that went in jail for murder.
Mhm.
So they really like made sure, like, when other Filipinos came to jail, like, we got y'all, we together, kept them
Yeah.
safe. So hearing that from them, that was very, very dope. How much weight they hold
Yeah.
when they was down in jail, and I heard Rico was crazy as hell in jail. And Rico was, I heard crazy stories, and you couldn't see Rico now. He's such quiet, kind person, good-hearted dude. But hearing, like, I couldn't just believe the stories I used to hear when he was in jail. I'm not going to say nothing on camera, but good thing, man. They're good people. And, like, just to talk about, like UP and, like, West Bay, what it do for the community. Like, the reason why I fell in love with UP, because they gave me that freedom to be like, all right, what you want to do with the kids. It wasn't like you got to move like a robot, you do this and that. So I was like, shit, let's get a studio. Let's
That's
build
where
a
it
studio.
started,
And
yeah.
that's when the studio started. And then teaching these kids how to count their bars, how to rhyme. And the other thing is, like, I grew up at the rec center. We play basketball all the time. So we play CYO, we play Park and Rec, we play PAL Flame Tournament. So me growing up, I'm like, man, these are the same tournaments I played as a kid, right? Let me submit these tournaments in. So I never thought I was going to be a basketball coach. Never did. I was like, hey, I'm going to be a basketball coach. I'm going to be nah. It came naturally. It came out of love, like helping the kids in the community. And now I love doing that shit, man. And it came from a space where it's like, once again, the foundation was love, trying to help these kids out. And that's how I fell in love with UP. I got fired from UP about 3-4 times.
Man, yeah. I think I remember you told me that. Yeah.
And like I thank God, like I'm glad that I met Rudy, man. I'm glad I met Rudy, and him seeing something in me. I appreciate that to this day.
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, that's what being raised by the block's all about, though. Like to just put the whole episode all together for real is like just being able to, as you get older, honor who really had your back too. You know what I mean? Like that's the biggest part about it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is, man. Again, raised by the block, Soma Voices, real talk on mental health, y'all. This really was about, the stories and just being, just letting the people know that we go through stuff, but at the end of the day, what I really think the theme of this episode will be is what you said, right? Like it's all out of love at the end of the day. If you don't move or like if you don't move by love, man, it's like your road could be tainted in different ways. But the fact that um, we all have that one thing to do, and the fact that we all got that thing in common, being raised by the block, it's dope. So again, thank you, City, special guest, man. Come on,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure, bro.
peace. And then